So we did a biopsy at his last visit to check and see what these were because I was worried about them. There's lots of types of skin cancers, some that aren't so bad and some that can be pretty bad. And so what we're looking for melanoma are black spots in the skin, and there were a few black spots in these spots that we biopsied, but very thankfully we found out that once we did the biopsy that it was only one of the lesser types of skin cancer, but still a serious one, and so we needed to get that skin cancer cut out for this reason. And so it has squamous cell can go to other organs and can be dangerous, and so we were able to get that cut out today, and now it's cured.
One of the spots is on his clavicle, and I made the statement, well, he's always worn shirts, and to that you said,
well, shirts don't always do the best protection, and you can still get sunlight leaning over, and even like thin shirts that don't have much UV protective factor, which you can see sometimes now on shirts that are being sold. Regular clothing don't protect you actually that much from the sun. It's clothing is better than sunscreen, but it's still letting some sunlight through. And so I love these fishing style shirts that have UV protective factor. Okay. You can get generic at Cabela's. I love these shirts, and it's what my husband wears all the time, and they're nice. You can just hang them, you don't have to put them in the dryer, and they're wrinkle free. I put on sunscreen before I leave the house every day, so I put it on anywhere that's going to be exposed. And if you're out sweating, you may need to be applying it as often as every hour. That can be pretty pesky at the farm, but what my husband has told me is that he really likes the spray sunscreens. They may not get as good a coverage as the cream, but at least he feels like he's not rubbing dirt into dirt. So,
right.
And the spray is nice. It's also kind of cooling, so it's a nice effect. I also like powder sunscreens. Also not as good as the cream, but they're really easy to reapply when you're kind of dirty and nasty at the farm, but really just need to get some more sun protection on. So really every hour if you're sweating and outside. So when he's changing water in the summer, it's constant. If he takes a break to take a drink, then he's putting on sunscreen. Higher numbers don't necessarily get you better protection. So as long as it's broad spectrum 30 or better, that's what we're going for.
Okay. And talk to me a little about some of the spots that we forget that you talked about that are sensitive, or the tops of your ears and the tips of your nose.
And so these are places you really don't want to have to cut. And so it's better to be able to preventatively take care of these, but also places where sunscreen gets rubbed off easily. And so your nose, boy, sunscreen doesn't last very long there. So reapplying is really important, and prevention is key. What Preston has been doing could be something that saves his life, that he comes in to see me every 6 months, and we freeze these spots, we cut them off early, and they don't have to be a big deal. But if you leave them there and let them sit for a while, they can become a problem.